Hey guys, Jason here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone had a nice Christmas or whatever holiday you were celebrating and were able to spend some time with your family. Today is going to be my last review for the year, so I got another review for you guys. I am talking about The Black Farm by Elias Witherow. I found out about this book on another YouTube channel. It's called the Uptown Horror Review. His channel's awesome. He does horror reviews, mostly extreme horror, I guess. And I really like his review style and the way that he does stuff. So I'm going to put a link in the description to his channel. You should check him out because he's really good. I watched his review of this book, and I thought, that sounds awesome. Like, it just has like a really cool concept. It sounds really great, really violent and crazy. It was something that I wanted to check out. So I jumped this book to the top of my TBR. I'm kind of torn a little bit on it. I didn't love the book. I didn't hate it either, but I think it just fell short a little bit. So I'm going to get into like a little summary real quick. Basically, this book is about a guy. His name's Nick. And his girlfriend Jess, they are going through a tough time. They're very depressed. His girlfriend was pregnant and miscarried, and they were really excited about the new baby. And when that happened, they both became really depressed. And a bunch of other stuff is going on in their lives, like to just make matters worse. And so they decide to kill themselves, and so they go to like a cabin or something, and they take a bunch of pills and drink wine, and then they just embrace each other and die. I guess the main character wakes up in this place, and it's called the Black Farm. It's a place kind of between heaven and hell, where like God and the devil were fighting about what to do with people who commit suicide with their souls, because they can't go into heaven because they committed a mortal sin or whatever, but mostly they're good people and they shouldn't go to hell either. They created this, like I said, purgatory type of a place called the Black Farm, where basically, and they put this guy, well, he's not really a guy, he's like a big monster called the Pig in charge, and he's created this world where all these other monsters basically just torture and kill all these. They call them suicidals, people who have committed suicide, forever. If you get caught by one of these pig monsters, they torture you, kill you, in an agonizing, horrible way, and then when you die, you just kind of wake up again in a different place on the Black Farm. And basically, it's like an island. It's surrounded by water. It's a big island, and there's no way to get off of the island or get away. There is one option though for you. If you choose to take it, you can do what's called feeding the pig, which is basically what it sounds like. The pig eats you, and if he likes the way you taste, he sends your soul back to your body, and you get to live your life. Or if he doesn't like your taste, he sends you to hell, which they say in the book is only just a little bit worse than the Black Farm. The Black Farm's a pretty bad place to be. As a concept, I thought it sounded really cool. I had this expectation around it. I kind of expected it to be this like live, die, repeat kind of Groundhog Day sort of thing, where they keep getting killed and struggle to, do whatever, defeat the pig or figure out a way out of this place, or just eke an existence in this miserable place. And that's not exactly what it is. Little disclaimer, this is a very violent book. It is extreme horror for sure. Maybe one of the most violent books that I've ever read. So just know that going into it. This book is certainly not for everybody. Some of the imagery is very disturbing. Nick, the main character, is in the Black Farm. He's trying to find his girlfriend Jess, and that's like the main goal. That's like his main goal. What did I like about the book? Like I said, I think the concept was really good. I had this expectation, but it just didn't really meet the expectation. And then I really did like the imagery. The violence was very well done. The fights and the tortures and the things were very brutal. And not only that, but like just the atmosphere, the world that he creates. The Black Farm is a bleak, horrible place. It's constantly raining. There's mud. There's blood. It's just the world he created is like very, very visceral, and I thought the imagery was great. Where I think this book could have been better. This is probably the biggest problem I had with the book was the characters were very, very one-dimensional. Two different main characters, right? Nick. He starts off as this like scared guy who is there and he doesn't know what's going on, and he just wants to find his girlfriend, right? And you kind of sympathize with him at first. He very quickly turns into just a murderous, rage-filled, like vile person that does atrocious things. Not only to like the pigborn, but to other suicidals and stuff. It's very jarring. Like, I didn't expect him to be I didn't like him at all. He was a bad person. He did things that I just was like, what is wrong with you? And yeah, it was just, I don't know. I didn't really understand like his motivations in any way. Like his whole purpose was to find Jess, and anything he had to do in order to reach that end was fine. But then he also did things that he didn't necessarily have to do. The other character, Jess, she is super one-dimensional, nothing character. Like by the end of the book, I didn't know anything about her, other than that she was blonde, and she had a miscarriage, and she was Nick's girlfriend. Like that's it. She's literally just there as like a thing for him to go get. And I don't know, there was no character development at all. Like she just wasn't even a person. She was just a thing to go chase after, and it was just, I don't know, very, very shallow. So yeah, I didn't really like the characters very much. And beyond them, there's a few like side characters and things. Again, they're not very well developed. They're kind of just there as sort of like exposition-y dump type characters. Like, you know, Nick will run into a character and have a bunch of questions, and they'll like explain a bunch of shit to him, and then he just goes about his business, and they either never show up again or something happens to him or whatever. So that kind of leads into the plot as well a little bit. The plot's not that great. It's basically just him trying to find his girlfriend, and then there's not really much. He doesn't have a plan really after that. Things do get a little bit better. Like he does eventually like have a goal outside of that, like in the last like third of the book. But it kind of comes out of nowhere. Some of the reasons or some of the things that he's trying to do. And another part of the plot, and I guess this relates to characters too, but some of the things that they do doesn't really even make sense. Like the whole concept of like, you're in this place, things are trying to kill you. If they kill you, you die, and then you just respawn essentially in a different part of the island. And so, but they never like use that to their advantage. It seems like something that they really could. Like for example, I'm gonna spoil some stuff here. He does eventually find her, his girlfriend, and then they get into some trouble, and they both end up dying. And so they're separated again. And so now he's got to try to find her again. But the whole time when they first found each other, I was just like, okay, so this is what they need to do. They need to just agree on a meeting place. Like, hey, if we get separated, if we get killed, if you get captured by a pigborn, kill yourself, and then when you wake up, just we'll just meet here, right? And then if you get here, just wait for the other person. They never, I mean, that would be a pretty logical and easy way to get around this whole thing where if they die, they're separated. But they never set any of that up. They never do anything like that. Also, the other part of that is they're being, there's parts where they're being tortured, they're being maimed, and a lot of times the Pigborn aren't trying to kill them. They're trying to prolong their suffering for as long as possible. So they're, torturing them, killing, and doing very bad things purposely without killing them, in order to prolong their suffering. And so the whole time I'm like, they're being tortured, they're being brutalized, and I'm like, you could just kill yourself and escape from the suffering and wake up somewhere else and try to do better the next time. And that's what I was saying is like that live, die, repeat sort of cycle. I was expecting that, and that didn't really happen. I think Nick, the main character, he only dies when he's in the Black Farm. He only dies 2 times. This goes on to my next point. The concept not being used to its full potential. That's an example where that would have been a very interesting thing to explore, where so you have this place where people go and they kill themselves, and then it gives people reason to want to kill themselves. They're being tortured. If they kill themselves, then they can respawn. And then it would have been really neat to have had that be a theme of well, you have to endure the suffering and not kill yourself in order to achieve some goal or whatever, blah blah blah. I'm not really sure where he could have gone with it, but that would have been a nice thing. I know this sounds really negative, and yeah, I didn't love it. I liked parts of it. I just thought it fell a little short. With that said, though, Elias Witherow, his writing is pretty good. I didn't hate, anything that any of his writing, from a technical standpoint, was fine. I am open to reading more of his books, and in fact, there's a sequel to this book. It's called The Return to the Black Farm, and I'm interested in reading it. I might eventually get to it. I probably won't for a little while. So I'm not totally turned off from this author altogether because of this book. I just think that it could have been a little better, is all I'm saying. So overall, I think I gave it a 2 out of 5 on Goodreads. I probably, if they had done half stars, I would have given it a 2.5. I was on the fence between 2 and a 3. It was okay. So yeah, that's all I've got to say about this book, The Black Farm, Elias Witherow. If you have read more of his books, please let me know in the comments what you thought. If you think I should read The Return to the Black Farm, or any of his other novels. I don't know what other novels he's got, what else he's written, and if you have any other suggestions that are similar to this, or whatever, let me know. But yeah, that's all I've got. So have a nice new year, and we'll see you next time. Peace.